if Terry's saying, he needs to perform better, his stats aren't looking good, in big games, he can go a bit hiding. I don't think anybody's disagree with you. But obviously, we're going to defend the hyperbolic nature of these statements. When people say he's rubbish, he does nothing, when he actually does play well. That's one thing. That's my only issue. And the way you were talking before was very disingenuous to say that when we have a bad game, I predicted this. If we lose the game, Enzo's going to get stick. What happened? Enzo didn't have a terrible game.
But Jez, you've been on shows with me, because actually when I sent you the DM earlier, one of your first messages, I saw it from like early 2000s, right? 2020. You know that's not how I am. I haven't sat here saying he's shit, he's crap. Those words are never really... Again, I might say things as a joke every now and then. There's a comment here from Blaze, actually. It says, I really wouldn't mind Terry's take on Enzo, but when I see Højlund excuses, even though he's also cost big money and speaks. Well, firstly, he's 2 years younger, so he's 21. But I do criticise Rasmus Højlund. I criticise him massively for his performance yesterday and have done in the last few months. So I do criticise him. I do also say I wish we could create the chances for him that Jackson always seems to get in this team, because I think he'd score some more goals. But again, Blaze, you're a long-time viewer in Super Chatter, but to say I don't criticise Man United players is crazy. I literally did it yesterday.
And then you've got people like CB saying that Enzo wasn't good last season. You know what I'm saying? And then when you show him examples, you say, oh, what, against Everton, relegated Everton, oh, against Blackburn, against this. But then if Enzo doesn't perform against these teams, you'll be like, oh, he couldn't even do it against this team. So here we go.
I'm here. Okay. Do you know what? Sorry, I got a sense that Enzo's sexual radar was just beeping. There's so much to debunk. Enzo didn't have a good game. He had less touches than Petrovic. He had less touches than the keeper. He's a deep lying midfielder. The excuses for why he needed to start, after we won 6-0, finally actually had free-flowing build-up. Everyone was playing well. The reason why he needed to start was, it's Man City. We need build-up. We need him on the build-up. He had less touches than our keeper. That just sums him up for you. Stop.
So we lost the game because of Enzo then?
He played well. Why are you gaslighting people that he played well?
Did we lose the game because of Enzo Fernandez? Just yes or no?
I saw many times when we was on the front foot, we was both in that stadium where he was open on goal. He miscontrolled his touch. He almost went out for a throw-in. He had to chase it down. He tried to do a 1-2 with Jackson and he lost the ball. And that's just nothing.
Jackson that lost the ball. See what I'm saying?
There's no microphone. You need to shout. You're not a microphone. You need to shout. My question to you would be,
Jackson that lost the ball.
My question for you would be, Did Enzo, he played poorly yesterday, right? What do you think about him as a player? Because obviously you have a lot of energy. You're typing.
He didn't even play poorly. That's the thing, though.
What do you think about him?
He did his job. He did his job.
He is a talented player.
Right.
I don't think he's due to his physical limitations. He's not suited for the Premier League. He doesn't have the physicality.
So we should get rid of him then.
Ideally, yes, we need to cut our losses. Do you know this great
that's your stance. So I know what you like.
This great club. When we signed Veron for 42 million in 2004 from Manchester United, we realized it was a flop by the end of the season. We sent him on loan to Inter Milan and he was gone. That's what a club with ambition does when you sign a flop. What you guys do for some reason is you make every single excuse under the planet for this man. First it was, oh, we need a DM. He needs a DM. We got him Caicedo. Oh, put him in the 10. We put him in the 10. It didn't work. Oh, yeah, he's not a 10. Oh, now it's Gallagher. It's the system. Is this. Now the new one is the hernia. He's got a hernia injury. Wake up and smell the coffee. We lost our money. We were spoofed. It's gone. 105 million is gone. We're not getting it back. He's not good enough. It's okay.
You're doing too much, man, because you're not going to try gaslight the performances that we were seeing last season. Do you know what I'm saying?
What performances? We won 2 games in 8 months.
See, this is what happens. This is what happens. This is what people do. Okay, so CB, so this whole season, let me ask you a question. Let me flip it back on you then, innit? This season, we've mainly been mid-table this season, yeah? Palmer and Gusto, have they been underperforming because we've been mid-table?
Why am I with the Chelsea guys down here? Can you move me out of this? I don't want to be in the middle.
Palmer and Gusto, have they been underperforming because we've been mid-table? Just yes or no, bro. Just yes or no.
Palmer's been playing.
Yes or no.
You violated, you know.
I'm answering your question.
I don't want to be in the middle, bro.
No. Answer them.
God, why are you shouting with this guy? He has an Enzo hate. We hear it. It is what it is.
No, bro. It's just.
This is what you guys don't.
Let me deal with him. CB, I hear what you're coming from.
Let me answer Dom's question. He asked me a question.
I'll be heard you shouting.
Let him answer because I've actually got to go, bro.
Palmer is good enough He's been performing well, but I'm not putting him in the PFA Player of the Year conversations because we are mid-table. That's what happened.
It's an individual award, though.
Due to the result, it's a results business. The fact his GA has been good. Credit to him for that. But we're not putting him in the best in the league conversations. We would if we were winning games. Do you get what I'm saying?
You know what it is? You actually think football. You actually think football's tennis. You know football's a team game, right? You do realize that, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Because last season, Enzo was plating up for guys like Sterling, guys like Havertz, these bums that kept missing in front of goal. We could barely score last season, yeah? There was a period, Ches, I remember in the season from like October, was it November to like January, yeah, where we scored 4 goals or something ridiculous like that. Do you know what I'm saying? January, goal of the month. We had 1 goal to pick from, bro, and that was João Felix.
Interesting, because for some reason, I'm so happy.
Hold on, CB. Let me finish.
We don't improve on the pitch, but you're mentioning a time in the season when we couldn't score goals. We score free flowing football now. We didn't improve.
Bro, the first thing you like to do is run away last season. When I told you about Enzo last season, you're like, oh, but we finished 12th. But in the same breath, you're not having that same energy for Palmer and Gusto. You can't even answer my question. You're telling me about PFA. And PFA is an individual award as well, if you didn't know. And I keep telling you, football is a team game, yeah? Enzo last season, like I said, he was better than this season, bro. Everyone knows this. He was better last season, bro. Yeah? If you meet a fair Chelsea fan, they will tell you last season, Enzo or Thiago Silva were our best players when he came into the club, right? This season, like I've said, bro, he is playing with a manager that wants to play ping pong, lack of control, chaotic football. Enzo Fernandez will never flourish and will never become the player that he can become in this sort of system. I'll be real with you. I'll never see the best of Enzo in Poch's system unless Poch decides to adapt. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll never see it happen.
I want to throw stats out on this one just really quickly, because and then I want to go to some of the rivals on this. I've been sitting there patiently. Just looking back on last season to this season, in terms of chances created, through ball and crossing accuracy, through balls per game, and layoffs resulting in an attempt on goal, Enzo statistically has been better this year than last year. But yet, most Chelsea fans say that he was better last year. I remember both numbers are poor, but crazy.
When I want to say it to you, I remember literally in the summertime, everyone was saying what they're saying about Palmer now. They were saying, if Chelsea don't fix up, Enzo would want to leave soon. Facts. Enzo Real Madrid. I was obviously, you might go, I don't see those articles now. Of course you're not, because your agenda doesn't match that, does it? Mm-hmm. My thing is this: Stevie don't rate him as a player. You might not rate him right now as a player. Patrick, Igal, whatever, Henry. My issue is when we talk about other players like Højlund, for example, like Havertz, is the way you put them on the pitch, the way they're positioning the team, the tactics. But when it comes to other players, higher price tags, with the way they look, their names, where they come from, people have a different kind of narrative. My issue is keep the same perspective for all players.
That's very disingenuous.
I'll be real. Enzo is a system player, bro. You know.
No, he's not, bro. No, he's not. No, he's not. Don't do that.
Enzo. Yes, he is, bro. Look, Staffy, it is clear proof to me that he is, bro. Because
Don, you guys hyped them up for the World Cup, and that wasn't a system team. That was an individual team.
Hold on. Let me tell you. What do you mean? Let me tell you something. Last season, yeah, Potter's system fitted Enzo Fernandez, right? And it was clear to see that he was able to perform in that system. This year, a system that doesn't help him, he hasn't been able to put up the same level of performances, bro. And I can acknowledge that. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, like I've said, I don't see Enzo Fernandez putting out these level of performances if he played for Arsenal, if he played for Man City, if he played for these sort of teams. But this system that is in right now, like I said, it doesn't help him, in my opinion, bro.
So you're saying he's a luxury player? Am I right? Am I wrong to hear you?
No, he's a system player. Clearly,
Chelsea spent 100 million on a guy that can play in just one system.
That's insane. Talk about that, Henry.
He is the biggest flop we have ever bought.
100 million. Whether he's valued at 100 million or whether they paid 100 million, the output does not match what you paid for him. And every fan who goes to the game or watches Chelsea as a rival looks at his output. And let's be honest, this season he's been a 6 out of 10. Like whether
you're kind to say 6 out of 10.
Right.
Chelsea's best game this season.
Maybe I'm being a little bit like nice to him.
Chelsea's best game this season. Chelsea's best game this season that he didn't even play. Cole Palmer scored 4 goals.
Hold on, nigga.
One second. I didn't even say 2 sentences. What's going on here?
No, my issue is though.
Let
me man. Let me learn. I
can't even speak. Gosh.
Listen,
I get it.
Go, bro.
Damn.
Let Igal finish, and then I'll come to you, Ches. I
didn't even say a word. Listen, the reason why people make fun of Enzo Fernandez is not only because of his price tag, is because people had high expectations for him. And he's performing at a level where if Scott McTominay had that performance versus Man City, he would have got criticized and called us hiding. He got 22 passes completed after 30. You watched the game twice, live and on TV back when you got home, and you couldn't even see that. I'm sorry, bro. You're delusional. I'm not even gonna say you're being delusional. You're just backing your team, and you want to be hopeful.
Firstly, that's rich coming from you.
No. I am giving you a fair analysis. I back my point with stats, and you're trying to talk about deflection.
Real Blue, I actually want to know your perspective. I've never come across
me even talking. You Chelsea guys,
guys, I'm gonna jump in one at a time, please. This ain't a space. This ain't a space.
Facts don't have time for your feelings. Get out of your feelings. The reality of the situation is your boy has not been playing well. When you have guys who are not midfielders like Kai Havertz in my team getting more touches per 90 than Enzo Fernandez, it's a joke, mate. Get out of here.
Hold on. Let me go.
Back to the system again.
My problem is
about the system, bro.
My problem is this, and to answer CB's question,
he's a deep line midfielder. Nothing about the system says he can't touch the ball more than 30 times.
Most of the games. Most of the games we don't.
Stop interrupting.
Most of the games.
The point between me and Don is chatting shit. Stop chatting shit about Enzo. Look at the numbers.
You're talking West, bro. You're talking West.
Why is it when you finally have Enzo?
No, we're not.
Enzo out of the team.
Hold on, let him land.
Why is it when you have Enzo out of the team and the midfield of Conor Gallagher and Caicedo and Cole Palmer did more damage than what you had in the past couple of weeks? Why is it every time this guy's playing and he doesn't do well, you're blaming the system, you're blaming other people? He's the midfielder. Call for the ball.
If he does well, it'll be like, look at that.
Can I say something?
From now on, I'm calling him.
Cheers. Final point. Sorry.
From now on, I'm calling him Enzo McTominay. That's what I'm calling him.
Thank you, Gal.
I like that. Final point from Ches, then we're moving on.
Please respect McTominay.
Let me just say this, yeah. Lovely points from Gal there, and I'm going to use his points to prove my point, to answer CB's question as well. My stance is he's underperforming. I'm not going to be delusional defending for no reason. I can own it. Underperforming. I expect better. System or no system. Players are their own player, innit? They can do the most they can do. This is rich coming from Gal and his fan base, who called Kai Havertz Shy Havertz. They're all mocking the same guy they're twerking for online. The same player they told me was crap, can't score goals, can't do nothing. They're praising in their team, putting him in their team in the seasons. That point that I made is to show you that players in different systems can play better.
Okay, let me rebuttal.
No, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me.
My guy Kai Havertz played in the midfield.
You're getting defensive. You're triggered.
1 second. Kai Havertz played in the midfield versus Wolves for majority of that game, and then he moved up top.
Triggered, man.
He had more touches in that game than Enzo did versus Man City.
Why are you talking like he always has media?
He had more. He had a better pass completion,
and
he had more passes successfully passed. He created more chances, and even though he does more defensive work, this guy is supposed to be a midfielder / forward, and he's putting in more work.
You're getting to answer my question.
Guys, we're going to leave it to the audience now because we could keep going around in these circles. I think everyone's had a really good say and a good shout on this. Patrick's had a good rest and sleep as well for part of that as well. I love it. I want to do this.
I've actually got to go. But big up. Love.